when I arrive to your house, I don't want to call you. I don't want to text you. I don't want to, G-chat you. I'd like you to just sort of kind of keep general,
You arrive like Tonto. You just send smoke signals up to my window.
I want you to just sort of open your senses and just sort of be aware. All right. Are we recording right now?
We are already recording. Should we make sure?
Yeah, let's go ahead and double check our sound here. Today's clip comes to us from Jason Campbell. Let's see. This clip is Mike Lindell. Is it Lindell?
Mike Lindell.
Mike Lindell.
I'm Mike Lindell.
Mike Lindell.
If it were Spanish, there'd be a little Nye on the E and the Dell to let you know it's Lindell.
And he's gone well out of his way to let you know it's not Spanish. Don't worry about it.
Right. Don't worry about it.
He is the CEO of My Pillow, and he was on Newsmax. What the fuck is Newsmax, by the way?
Newsmax is OAN's rival, which I feel like Trump's going to buy both of them and just put them together like.
OAN is the super far. It's like the
they're both far right alternatives to Fox because the right, the Trumpy right.
Yeah.
Has said that Fox betrayed Trump by declaring the election for him.
And Fox has always been kind of not on their good side.
Right. Well, this is what you'll see is so funny about this interview is that Newsmax has to shut him up about claims he's making, even though these claims he's making is the only reason people support Newsmax.
Let's watch the clip here. So Mike Lindell is talking about he was banned from Twitter, I guess.
They're all banned from Twitter now.
That's,
It's a private company.
Well,
I guess this is where I get super libertarian.
This is where I get 100%. Well, if you look at the terms and conditions and you use their site, I don't see why, I have an issue with that.
We always stand in support of big tech. All right, here's Mike Lindell advocating for coup and spewing dangerous conspiracy theories on air.
What happened with your Twitter account and the company page?
Well, first mine was taken down because we have all the election fraud with these Dominion machines. We have 100% proof. And then when they took it down,
Mike, he has a cross lapel on his suit jacket.
Yeah, instead of an American flag, he's got a cross on his lapel.
That's like pin. He's warding off vampires.
Also, why does he sound like Jesse Ventura now?
He does have this weird. Oh, but he's from Minnesota. That's something I learned about him. So he's from the same. I guess there's just a part of Minnesota where everybody sounds like Jesse Ventura.
Yeah, either everybody sounds like a former wrestler or straight from Ethiopia.
Mike, thank you very much. Mike,
by the way, he says there was problems with the Dominion machines, and I have 100% proof. Which I love that Trump started this thing where like proof is proof. There's no percentage of proof.
Everything is either without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, like if it's proof, it's proof. You don't need to get into percentages. It's not like a recipe.
You know what I don't like about all of these fucking virtual backgrounds? Where am I supposed to believe everybody is?
Right. Yeah. One person is in Burbank. Yeah. Another person is in fucking Tokyo, and then Mike is in front of a shed.
Mike appears to be inside of one of those portable units you would have to do school in sometimes.
Right. It looks like one of those tough sheds that you would buy at Home Depot.
Yeah. Did you ever have to do that, by the way, when you were where it was like, hey.
Of course. I went to high school in Georgia.
You got to do school in this tool shed.
Yes. We called them mobiles.
Yeah. I thought it was all, dude. It was so great. You hear every step somebody takes. Everybody feels. I felt like every single day I was a little foreman at a construction company.
Right. Or you could every now and then smell like cigarettes from kids who didn't realize there was a class in the trailer and they were smoking back there.
Oh yeah, dude. Kissed my first chick behind one of those.
Did you?
Yeah. Well, she kissed me.
She pushed you up against a tree and kissed you.
You know, for a fact, I did not. I was not engaging in anything. I did not make a move on a chick. No fucking way, dude.
Yeah, because you were the teacher.
She violated me. All right, let's see what else
Now
Michael
this just evolves. So Newsmax is really settling into their wheelhouse of right-wing media where it's just three people screaming at once.
You're talking about machines that we at Newsmax have not been able to verify any of those kinds of allegations. We just want to let people know that there's nothing substantive that we've seen. And let me read you something there. While there were some clear evidence of some cases of vote fraud and election irregularities, the election results in every state were certified, and Newsmax accepts the results as legal and final. The courts have also supported that view. So we wanted to talk to you about canceling culture, if you will. We don't want to relitigate the allegations that you're making, Mike, because we understand where you are. So let me ask you this. Do you think that this should be temporary because it appears to be permanent? Could you make an argument that it is temporary?
What?
You've been screaming over everything he said. He had no idea what the question was. But what's going to happen here is Newsmax is going to play a little bit of devil's advocate, and the girl's going to step in and be like, man, maybe there was some fraud.
There's a lot of things that happened during this pandemic that are challenging. But you know what? What's great is the whole Zoom thing. You can always pretend there's a lag. That's a great thing. You get hit with a question you don't understand. Yes. You're not sure what was that?
Now, this guy in the middle is trying to not get sued for saying that the election, trying to get Newsmax not taken off of all of social media. I mean, YouTube, Twitter, they'll take down Newsmax if Newsmax starts advocating for fraud.
Is Newsmax part of any package? Can you get Newsmax or?
Yeah, you can go on your Roku.
you got to download a channel?
Yeah, you download Newsmax.
Not part of any package. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. That snaps everything into place for me. People, that's what I need. Incredible. When it comes to a credible source, I need to know, is your news source included in a cable package? If it's not,
if you have to take a breath before I say but you answer the question, how do I get this? Well, what you need to do is
do you know what a blackjack is? You plug it into the wall. It's kind of like a calling card.
Do you have one of those old Macs that had an orange background?
A temporary banning rather than permanent.
No, I want it to be a permanent because you know what? They did this because I'm revealing all the evidence on Friday of all the election fraud with these machines. So I'm sorry if you think it's not
Mike,
real.
Can I ask our producers,
dude, this anchor's fucking losing
get out of here, please?
He's a good-looking anchor, though.
I don't want to have to keep going over this.
He shouldn't be in the minor leagues. He must be like a sexual harasser or a chronic masturbator or something. Yeah. Now, but listen to her play devil's advocate here.
We at Newsmax have not been able to verify any of those allegations that you're
Mike, hold on a second. Everybody hold on a second. Mike, hold on 1 second.
Oh, dude, that guy is now up.
He left. The middle
empty
guy
chair.
just fucking bolted. Now listen to her.
Just what is happening overall in terms of censorship of...
Trying to cancel out my company and myself. In this country, it's cancel culture.
I like that he... as soon as the guy storms off, now Mike Lindell starts answering the question.
Right.
I looked up a little bit about Mr. Mike Lindell. I didn't know he was a crack addict. Did you know that?
I'll tell you this, not surprised.
You're not surprised. Apparently, if you look at this, he went from, in 2017, before he was really known to be a lunatic, CNBC did an article about him where they explained that he went from being a crack addict to a CEO.
Is it this?
Yeah, go ahead and click that book. He actually wrote a book about this, as you can see, where he pitches the book.
Okay, I'll tell you this: for a former crackhead, he does look great.
You know, he does have that sort of Midwestern Detroit kind of crackhead. He looks like Tim Allen right there.
He does. The mugshot of Tim Allen when he was selling coke.
When he was selling cocaine. Yeah, exactly. This is a very similar vibe here.
Also, but this is weird because he's saying crack addict to CEO, but he's snorting coke. That's not crack. So
yeah, this
cook it up.
The image, it's a little bit bad. Go ahead and click play here. I think.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell. You know me as the My Pillow guy, but what you might not know is my story.
He came out real hot, like he was on coke right at the gate, right there. I mean, he didn't take a breath.
Well, I read this article about him being a a crack addict or whatever, and it said something like he's been clean for like a shockingly low number of years. It was like 6 years.
He's like, let me see. Did Punxsutawney Phil see his shadow? Okay, well, I'm not sober this winter.
This dude has done crack with Mayor Rob Ford. There's no question about it.
Absolutely.
He was a millionaire in 2013 back when Rob Ford was alive. They must have fucking done crack together.
They're both middle of the continent folk.
They know
what I mean?
They have the same kind of winters. They understand each other in a way that maybe me and an Iranian person would get each other.
Right, exactly.
I've spent years writing my memoir, and it's finally...
Holy shit. Is his memoir holographic cover?
Is that what was going on?
Yeah, check it out.
Writing my memoir.
It is.
Finally...
It goes from serious face to smile.
Okay, I did
rules.
Want to look at this YouTube video kind of to make fun of it, but now I'm sort of getting sold on this book.
Yeah, and by the way, he's wearing like the exact same outfit on the cover of the book as he is in the video holding up the book.
Yeah.
Where it looks like they just printed the cover 5 seconds before.
You know, it's a shame. He looks like a real life Muppet. Like there's no human that looks more fun, but is saying less fun things than this guy right here.
Done. Before this terrible pandemic came upon us, I had already wrote, I dedicate this book to anyone looking for hope. Well, right now we're all looking for hope. And I've always used mathematics to prove that God exists. In our lives, we've had things happen that are 1 in a million or a 1 in a billion, or we might say that's impossible. Well, when do we say it all has to be a miracle? My life has been like living inside of a movie, and in my book, I have pictures.
Every single time,
every
line, he's flashing that holographic cover, and I'm sold a little bit more.
He's like, don't worry, there are pictures in this book. It's not all words. He goes, in this book, there are pictures.
I hope there are pictures in there.
I believe that my story is going to bring inspiration and hope to everyone. By the time you're done reading my book, you will believe that with God, all things are possible.
Mike spent the last 7 years writing his book to share his life story. In this difficult time we are in, Mike's book will bring much needed inspiration and hope to everyone.
He's been writing this book for 7 years. I'm positive. I know for a fact he got the last time he did coke or crack or whatever was 7 years ago. So there was some overlap probably while writing this book.
He's like, I'm going to quit after the first draft. Look, I just got to get through the first draft.
Yeah, there's no doubt that this memoir idea was inspired in part by his crack addiction.
What is My Pillow, by the way?
It's look, he kind of talks a little bit about the founding of the pillow, where
it's like a different kind of pillow.
You know, this is where he kind of loses me a little bit. And listen, I know, other than this, he's making fantastic points. But he talks about like being woken up from a dream while he was sleeping one night and having this vision of this pillow. And I sort of think, we think we all invented a very comfortable pillow.
Yeah, well, also, especially when you wake up on a sidewalk.
Yeah, it's
like, boy, my neck is killing me.
Dude, in the middle of the night, I had this dream where I came up with this delicious hamburger.
Yeah.
Like, I think we all sort of have this idea.
Yeah, I've dreamed up new holes in my sleep, too.
Yeah, exactly.
But now the game was over.
All right, now they're showing a video of him recording the audio book.
Right here on this deserted street, a small item in the news. American tourist goes missing in Mexico.
Call now or
Whoa!
visit
Is that him?
Yeah, that's him, dude. The name of the book, What Are the Odds? From Crack Addict to CEO. I would have named the book, I would have named it Crack, like CEO, and then I would have spelled crack, like crack executive officer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something like that. I feel like that would have been a more compelling way to communicate it.
From crack executive officer to chief executive officer. That's his rejected title.
Well, listen, if we use the can you actually, Bryan, I will give you my credit card info. Can you type in
Hope146 at mypillow.com?
Yeah, can we just see? I think we owe it to our fans to buy the book and to maybe we've always talked about doing Worst Hour Book Club.
Yeah, but this might be the first book.
$9.97 with the promo code.
Is
and
it
free
Mike's
shipping.
book with no apostrophe?
We're on mypillow.com. What a messy website.
It's really insane.
Mypillow.com sells everything from his book to pillow tops to dog beds. What other products? Go on to other products. What else did they sell on MyPillow? I want to see what made this guy a millionaire. Towels.
Comforters, pillows.
Right,
there he is sleeping.
Couple rubs.
That pillow looks awful.
Children's Bible story pillowcases. Hold on, go down. All right, I gotta look at this. We have to buy one thing from this guy. We have to support this guy in some capacity.
Well, he's made
everyone, you all know I'm a kid at heart. Well, here is my new favorite product. Children's Bible Story Go Anywhere My Pillows. What they have, we have the same patented fill, the same Go Anywhere pillow for that comfort and awesome sleep. But now we have stories from the Bible.
Yeah,
and scenes from the Bible.
nothing will make you want to sleep less than why. Oh, this river is made of blood.
Yeah. Here we have Cain shoving a hammer into the back of Abel's head.
Here we have Isaac having his throat slit by his father.
Yeah, God made this man rip his own eyeball out and feed it to a fucking goat.
Jesus.
Look at here. This is the first one. This is where God creates heaven and earth. If you don't know the story, you flip it over.
Oh, my God.
From day 1 all the way to day 7 when he rested.
They have the full chapter, the full Genesis chapter on the back of that pillow.
Now, this must be like hitting you in some way. Like, this must seem a little familiar.
Listen, man, I do kind of. What this reminds me of is the cartoon VeggieTales. Did you ever see the cartoon VeggieTales?
I remember the imagery, but I don't know what it was about.
Well,
was it Islamic?
Unfortunately, I learned the hard way. Was it?
There was a lot of chopping. Hey, folks, hold on.
It's the worst hour of the week with Bryan Vokey and Ramsey Badawi.
Welcome to the show, folks. Welcome to the Worst Hour podcast, where the game never stops. My name is Ramsey Badawi. That is Bryan Vokey. Together, we are broadcasters. We're comedians. We're partners at the law firm of B&R, the Sharia legal dream team. Mm-hmm. We have a great show for you guys tonight. Bryan, you, of course, have a few legal stories you want me to weigh in on from a Sharia point of view. I'm looking forward to that. Mm-hmm. We got a major shakeup on the Amazon corporate level involving Jeff Bezos, the man, I believe, who is the billionaire with the biggest hog. There's absolutely no question about that in my mind, and I will prove that to you a little bit later on tonight, folks.
Can't wait.
We're also going to take a look at that military coup in Myanmar. At this point, I'm going to be honest with you. We are neutral here at the Worst Hour Nation. Mm-hmm. We're just going to watch it kind of play out. We're not saying we're loyal to Min Aung Hlaing, but we're certainly open to it.
Her name does sound like a choppy Zoom feed.
Well, no, Min Aung is the new leader.
Oh, that's the dude?
Yeah, he's the new guy.
Excuse me.
We'll talk about that in a second. And of course, we're going to close the show out with my absolutely favorite segment. You heard it here last. That's, of course, where Bryan and I comment on stories from years ago that we just found out about.
We just found out about. They're super funny.
Yeah, today we're going to be going over a man who identifies himself as the world's first virtuous pedophile. Or I guess he's not virtuous. Or he's not the first.
Yeah, I don't think he claims to be the first, but he did find the Verped movement.
The Verped movement, which I learned about while watching this video, and listen, I'm excited to share it with our listeners. If you're out there and it's helpful, maybe
if this just helps one of our subscribers
and all of the young children in their lives, then it's totally worth it. But first, we got a few emails, so I do want to go over. We'll dive headfirst into the sperm bag.
That's for the sperm bag? Is this one for the sperm bag?
Oh, that was good. I like that one. I like this one better. We'll dive headfirst into the sperm bag. Bryan and I have never worked so hard on pre-show prep than today.
Yep.
By installing that sound effect, right. That is, the most we've ever coordinated.
That was at least 4 or 5 exchanges in texts.
On various platforms.
We were moving it around. We're on Telegram, and then we're on WhatsApp, then we're on Google.
Bryan and I never we never exchange more than 2 sentences on the same platform.
That way you can't put the whole picture together when you're investigating us.
I'm not, look, I'm not saying we live in a world where everybody can figure out everything that you do through your digital footprint. So I've resigned the fact I can't ever hide that. But what I can do is confuse them. So if I spread everything out on 7 different platforms,
right? It's like toe shoes. It's like they're like, was this criminal barefoot or was he wearing shoes? I have no idea.
I mean, I guess you could get into my WhatsApp, my Facebook, but you gotta need a bunch of different warrants for each one of those apps. It's gonna take forever.
Dude, I'm on Telegram now. I had to get on Telegram. And Telegram just automatically sends a notification to everybody in your contacts.
Yeah.
Who is also on Telegram. So people I haven't spoken to in years are like, what up?
They're like, whoa, I love that. They send it, hey, guess who needs Adderall?
Yeah.
Everybody in your phone book is getting a notification. Bryan Vokey's looking for pills.
Yeah, exactly.
Write us an email, worsthouroftheweek@gmail.com. That's where we read these sperm bag emails. By the way, that is how did you get that sound effect?
Dude, I found the most horrific YouTube channel.
Okay.
Which is a subculture I don't know about, which is animations of big-titted girls getting like goo dumped all over them. Like,
all right, let's go ahead and take a look at that, if you don't mind.
Let me figure out how the fuck I found that.
Hot
girls slimed. There it is. Okay. So this channel, listen to this.
Okay, hang on.
This is horrific, by the way. It's not like too horrific. It's not nearly as horrific as what we're ending the show on.
Oh, without a question. Yeah.
So, but it's still pretty fucking. I don't understand the world I stepped into.
Just stand right here. No, this can't be right.
Okay, so they're in a sewer, and
there's a man's voice leading a woman's voice into a sewer.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and it's just oozing shit. We're looking at it like a duck.
It's called the sewer spewer.
Oh, that's isn't that Elsa from Frozen?
Is it?
I think this is like a Disney character getting shit all over her face.
Oh God.
Yeah, so this is a Disney character.
This YouTube channel is called Nasty Gooey Slimy Fanboy.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh God, now they're shitting all over the chick from Frozen. Oh, dude. Oh, dude. Are the comments turned on? Are they enabled?
There's zero comments. There's only 232 views. I found it weird. So this guy has 205 subs. I mean, 2.5 thousand subs. But there's other. Watch this one. This one is called Big Booty Tease Animated with Gooey Splat Sexy Sound Effects. And it's a Zelda-looking type character with a big fat ass, and all those bow 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 you're hearing is her shaking her ass.
Yeah. Dude, do me a solid. Smash that like button just so I can remember this page. Yeah, dude.
It changes into this, too.
I see. And this person you're telling me is making more income on YouTube than the both of us? What are we doing? We show up every week. We have interesting things to talk about.
I know. But apparently what people want to see is tubes of shit going all over Elsa from Frozen. Look how many videos this guy has, too.
Yeah, this...
I'll show you one more, and I will post the link to this YouTube channel for you guys to have your own exploration. This one, boobs, booty, and belly growth animated. So this girl, she starts out with reasonable sized breasts, and then every time she moans,
her boobs
tits,
swell up. Okay, so
Oh fuck!
This is just real porn. Who
is this for?
Write us an email, worsthouroftheweek@gmail.com. By the way, somebody out there appears to be using our email to request auto insurance quotes.
I don't know that's not me. It's a guy named Kent.
Kent, I advise you to please knock it off, all right? You're taking up our valuable gigabytes in our inbox.
Yeah, I'm sorry to take you down that road with that YouTube channel, but dude, when you said, can you find a gross sound effect, I found this channel somehow.
I'm worried about the gigabytes in our inbox, by the way. Remember how people used to be worried about minutes on their phone?
Yeah.
Whenever people send me an email, I go, oh my God, you're eating up my gigabytes, bro.
I'm paying $10 a month for 2 terabytes.
We have something. We have something in the sperm bag here. What was it? We got an email from somebody, didn't we?
We've got a couple emails here.
All right, let's go over it. First email. Would you do me the honors of reading that, Bryan?
Okay, it says, I won't say who it's from because apparently none of our listeners want to be named as listeners to this podcast. So we'll keep them anonymous.
Remember, did I ever tell you about the time I messaged somebody and told them that I would send them they were a Patreon.
Yes.
I sent them I wanted to send them a welcome package, and he said, I'd really rather not.
He didn't want his girlfriend to know that he listens to us. He's like, listen, I think you guys are great, but there'd be a lot of problems if my girlfriend found out that I was listening to you guys.
Well, I told him, I said, I'll put on a fake This American Life cover on the whatever we were handing out that month, whatever.
So this email's, so basically what this is Ramsey and I have been requesting that you screenshot your 5-star review for us, recommended 5-star review, and then
for the Apple Podcast app.
The Apple Podcast app, yeah, because it really helps us out. So people have been doing that. We've been getting a few of those. Here's one. Hey guys, I really appreciate the show. It's nice to have a news source. Well, okay. It's nice. I don't know if you want to go around calling us that.
I will say that legally, I'm going to step in and say we're not a news source, but we'll take it.
It's nice to have a news source that doesn't constantly make me feel like I need to seek refuge in a nicer country.
It's true. We recommend going to a worse country, if anything.
Yeah, 100%. Go to Saudi Arabia.
Go to fucking one of those countries where $200 a month gets you by for a few years.
Oh yeah, like Bulgaria or something.
Thailand.
Yeah.
One of the countries we'll talk about later.
And then he wrote in his review, and he wrote, I get my news from the mainstream media every day, but every Wednesday morning, asterisks, I can count on waking up to a nice hot cup of real news. Disclaimer, Wednesday morning news may or may not actually be Tuesday morning news at a later time. That's 100% correct. One more, and this one comes from another anonymous listener. Yo, guys, just subscribe to the Patreon. Die every time I hear welcome to the show, folks. Left y'all a review. And the reason why I want to read this review is actually the reviews below it are really funny to me. His review is...
it just says, eh.
All right. It's 5 stars. We just wrote, eh. But this one right here, I secretly think that Ramsey wrote this one.
Well,
it says 666 Buffalo. And the review says, Ram Dogs, no apostrophe again, just like Mike Lindell. Ram Dog's literally a genius.
I listen.
There's no way you didn't write that.
I'm telling you, why would I do that? To make me look like a genius in front of everybody?
Yeah. Why would you do that?
What would be what's the upside of me fake writing my own review?
Oh God.
Explain to me what the upside in that would be. What, everybody would all of a sudden think I'm smarter?
Yeah, listen, and now it's in print. Now it can be brought up as a document in court.
I don't like the tone that you've taken this podcast to. Accusatory? Accusing me?
Oh, that's right. I forgot. I'm dealing with a Sharia lawyer. Yeah. Well, I was just kidding. I'm sorry. I don't think you wrote it. I apologize.
Yeah, man.
I retract my earlier statement.
Wow. What? You're on Alpha Brain now? Is that what's going on?
So, Alpha Brain, which is smart pills sold by Joe Rogan.
Is that why you've taken this tone with me? You're on some kind of a pill that's changing your hormones?
I'm super alpha now, dude, so I got to shit on you.
I'm going to have to give I'm going to have to give a deposition in several years about how I noticed the sudden change in my podcasting partner's tone with me.
Yeah. That's when I am a part of a $1 billion settlement for Alpha Brain and how it's been poisoning people.
Yeah.
So what happened was I saw on Instagram, for some reason, I don't know how, maybe because I follow Rogan or something, it said free giveaway, Alpha Brain.
I have a feeling you did more than just follow Joe Rogan for them to give you that ad. You probably did 10 things in a row where they're like, let's give him that ad.
Yeah, it's probably all the boxing videos I watched.
You probably saw a boxing video, went to Reddit, immediately downloaded an episode of Rogan,
Right.
Whatever, ordered Rogan.
When Rogan went to Spotify, he's dead to me.
Same.
I have not even seen a clip. I don't know.
I really keep forgetting he still does a podcast.
Yeah, I know. He's gone to me. But so it just said like free giveaway on it is giving away Alpha Brain. So I was like, I'll order that just to see what it does, just because it's funny.
Yeah.
And then I took 2 yesterday morning, and they spun me into a panic attack that was like, I haven't had one of those in probably 10 or 15 years.
Are you sure, dude? They're basically like, You're gonna tell me you had a panic attack from a nootropic?
Yeah, this felt drug induced. It felt like I was on shitty designer drugs.
I don't think
and I'll tell you why I think it was Alpha Brain was because I'm so accustomed to having panic attacks, not at that level, but more milder panic attacks, that I didn't even link it together for the first like 4 hours of the panic attack. But it was so long. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I was second guessing everything in my life. I had anxiety about this podcast that we're doing tonight. We've been doing this for twice a week for a year.
Really?
And
why does it feel like we've been doing it for 10 more years?
And I was like, oh my God, I'm not ready for this. This is going to be terrible. And then I was getting ready to do Fat Jocks, my other podcast. And I was like, I don't know what I'm talking about. And then I just got this new producer gig and I'm like, I'm way unqualified. I started questioning everything. And when it hit me was I went to 365, you know what that is?
Of course I know what 365 is. That's the Whole Foods, but just a really small, little bit cheaper.
It's not cheaper at all. It's a complete lie.
Yeah, 365 is Whole Foods. What is it? Is it like a value store? Everybody's got their shitty brand.
Yeah, it's like off-brand Whole Foods for the same price as Whole Foods.
Yeah, that doesn't really make much sense.
I don't really understand, but I got an entire sleeve of our giant thing of Snickerdoodle cookies, and then I got a thing of buffalo baked wings.
What? You're the only person on the planet who got stoned off of a nootropic?
No. I was trying to shove all these fucking junk food into my system to slow my heart rate down because usually when I used to have panic attacks all the time, I would just eat a bunch of junk food and knock myself out. I would eat like 2 pints of ice cream and then pass out and wake up and have diarrhea, but the thing was over.
Sure.
So I'm eating Snickerdoodles. I ate a thing of Fig Newtons. I ate some chicken wings. I ate some chicken thighs.
You were trying to control why you felt bad. You were like, I feel like
sweat.
shit, so let me give myself a reason that I understand why I feel like shit.
My piss smelled like salmon. Dude, it felt...
I don't know if that has to do with the Alpha Brain. Or the fact that you just told me you ate like a fucking stoned raccoon.
It smelled like I turned into a salmon and I was pissing salmon piss. It was the most insane thing. You could smell it standing. Joni left the bathroom because, by the way, Joni was in the bathroom when I pissed. I didn't know. I started pissing and then I heard her collar jingle and I was like, "Are you looking at my dick?" And I pissed on the floor a little bit.
She's one of the biggest horror dogs I've ever met in my entire life.
Dude, I was losing my mind. So if anybody wants, I think it was a 30 count. I have 28 left.
Dude, I'll take them. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you can have 28 Alpha Brains. It almost ruined my life. I literally almost quit my job that I just got hired because I convinced myself I wasn't ready for it.
I will take those Alpha Brains specifically to quit the job that I have.
And then I started freaking out about how I need property. Later on, and then every day was
that's true.
The panicking was just unbelievable, and so then I came up with this idea that I shouldn't get property because things can happen to property, natural disasters. Just
I would never invest in
wear and
property.
tear. So I was like, I'm going to get a watch, like a $160,000 watch,
okay,
because that appreciates in value not as much as a house, but it does appreciate value, and it's not like it comes with a septic tank that you can overflow when you fill it with condoms and newspaper when you don't have toilet paper.
Certainly. And I don't understand why you want to give up Alpha Brain. It seems like you're having Mike Lindell level insights.
So I started looking at watches and I went on Zenith watches and they have
Let me get this straight. You went to watches before you got to any other asset in 2020.
I went to watch.
Ways to store your wealth.
That's more about the pills, not me. I was under the influence.
I see.
Alpha Brain. I immediately needed a $160,000 watch because that's what an Alpha Brain.
You immediately began to have the investing insight of Pitbull? Is that what you're telling me happened?
So I was looking at Zenith watches. They had a $80,000 watch that was on sale for 10% off, which I was like, who is like, listen, I can't do 80,000.
You take down that $8,000?
72,000. That's reasonable.
I mean, we're talking about really an order of magnitude more, if you really think about it.
Who's negotiating 10% on $80,000 purchases?
Did you end up ultimately purchasing a watch?
No. I ended up, then I fell into a crazy FanDuel DraftKings hole and started downloading and subscribing to like sabermetric websites to figure out how to optimize my lineups. And then I fell asleep and it fucked with my dreams. And I was up all night doing fantasy research, which I retained zero of the information.
How come? I feel like when I was younger, I was always promised that I could fall asleep like listening to some kind of an instructional thing, and I would learn. Remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
Learn how to speak Spanish.
Yeah. They would just put. I remember people used to do bits about the CD skipping, and then they had to stutter and
of
whatever
course,
language or whatever.
Bits. What are you doing stand up? What do you think stand up in the early 80s?
No, I've just done a lot of shitty road gigs where people are still doing CD bits now.
People are still doing learned language on tape bits.
Yeah, exactly. And then it fucked with my dreams. I was having sex with.
Yeah, that's a
people
common
I
thing.
know.
I've of course dabbed in. I just abbreviated dabbled. I dabbled in nootropics, of course. That's the thing that I found to be most noticeable there was the dreams get super lucid.
Yesterday was one of the worst days of my life.
Well, hey, man, your loss is my gain. I'm absolutely excited about that. I'm excited to take those nootropics. I could use it, man. I'm fucking exhausted. All right, let's talk a little bit about these. Let me see a couple of these stories here. One of these from let's see, lawncrime.com. What do we got here? Talk to me about this man who fell through a ceiling. I want to see that one. The guy who fell through a ceiling. Now, Bryan, you got these stories off of lawandcrime.com. These are current trials. Is that what's going on? These are current, which cases that are currently running their way through the system. Is that how you describe them?
I think so, but this one is not even at trial yet. I think it's just any kind of thing that will eventually end up in the legal system.
Yeah, well, this is from lawandcrime.com, which is a Dan Abrams production. Dan Abrams is the guy you always see talking on 2020.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, dude. He's a fucking...
So this website's a little more legit than I thought.
Dude, Law and Crime is the real fucking deal.
So this man was living in two different centuries simultaneously, where he was I believe a security guard or something at a local gym.
Uh-huh.
And he climbed up into the rafters and was filming the women's locker room with his cell phone and fell through and landed on the floor while filming.
At a women's gym?
The women's locker room of a gym.
Oh.
In America, men and women can be in the same gym.
Huh. This is what I'm a little bit confused about. Okay. All right. Interesting.
Yeah, the Sharia law lawyer is here. But here's my question about this man is, first of all, if he's a maintenance guy, that's why he got up in there. He was a maintenance guy there. Has he not heard of, cameras, like security cameras that you can install?
Yeah.
Like you don't have to lay on the ceramic tiles or whatever they're made out of.
Well, listen, by the time you're filming chicks with the camera, I don't know if it's really even about the cameras. I think it's about like being there and then remembering it. Like he's filming those chicks the same way that you film like Bono singing at like a concert,
Right.
It's not like you're going to watch the video later, but you just want to remember when you scroll through your phone. Like, remember that time that I was in the rafters at Planet Fitness? Like, that was really fun.
It's like beating off to an ex-girlfriend.
Exactly. You're not actually, it's not the memory.
But you don't want to be
Although,
there.
actually, I'm not sure if it's exactly like that.
No, but what I'm saying is that, like, I don't ever want to actually hook up with certain exes ever again. I hope I never see him again.
Yeah.
But I can beat off to it.
Yeah. Again, I'm not really sure if that's exactly
Listen, we are the analogy experts here. Worst hour.
It's one of the things we do the best.
Flawless analogies. I just I don't know. What is the crime in Sharia law?
Well, from a Sharia perspective, I would say first and foremost, can I see the women he was looking at? That would be the first part of my defense. He was, but from a worst hour perspective, this guy really, I think, is violating a law that is something that would be just punishable by death for me, and that is unauthorized recording of of me in any capacity. That's my greatest fear. I don't changing or not changing.
Could you imagine doing this in California where they're like, ma'am, I'm instructed by state law to let you know that I'm recording you from the roof. It said, though, that according to the sheriff's office, Joe sustained, his name is Joe, sustained no injuries despite falling about 10 feet. The women who had the misfortune of breaking his fall, the woman was checked by first responders, but she was not taken to a hospital.
I guess they had some video of this, but it wasn't the full video.
It's just him getting arrested.
It's just him getting arrested, which seems like a weird time to turn the camera on.
Seems like he has an amazing video if he's filming the woman, and then he falls. It must look awesome. Dude, falling right onto the girl.
The amount of ad revenue that this motherfucker can get on YouTube. We gotta get in touch with this guy and see if we can license that video.
He just shouts out stamps.com as he falls through onto the woman.
We should get him the worst hour pod.
Yeah, worst hour pod every Wednesday morning.
We gotta get our hands on that. We need to start guerrilla marketing campaigns that way. Where we
with
just
peeping toms.
we get our hands on that kind of footage and just put worst hour pod over it.
We give stalkers laser pointers that spell out worst hour pod, and then they shoot it into the woman's house.
Dude, laser pointers that have images on them, I completely forgot about those, man.
Yeah, my friend had a customizable one in German class in high school, and our teacher's name was Miss Vetter, and he wrote it to say Miss Vetter is a pig.
How do you have a customizable laser?
I don't know. It was German class. The guy was
yeah, of course. Nazi gold. I had a laser pointer that had like 9 or 10 different attachments. God willing, you'd circle your way through them all. One of them was a snowman, and we would flip it on the side because it kind of looked like tits. Dude, we had a fucking grand old
Total
time.
Recall tits.
Dude, it looked great. To this day, I think it shaped my sexuality, come to think of it.
You need 3 tits.
I like my tits like that to this day with 3 nipples.
3 different sizes.
3 nipples going across. Let's see. Yeah, this guy would probably, from where I'm at, would definitely get a couple floggings just on the video alone, to be completely real with you.
Right, yeah. Filming is a... But as far as like peeping on women, that's not a problem, right?
From a Sharia perspective, I'd have to talk to their husbands, see if they want to press charges. I'm like, ladies, you have to stay out of this one. I need to figure out whether your husband wants to press charges or not with this crime.
Also, if the woman is not married, is he now married to her by falling on her?
Yeah, that could potentially happen. It depends on which country, of course, they were in.
I call it the frog splash marriage.
Yeah, it's definitely a problem in certain parts of Southeast Asia.
I just want to RIP Jack Palladino real quick.
Yeah, who's Jack Palladino?
He's a no-nonsense, hard-boiled private eye. He's been around forever. His first case was Patty Hearst. He was hired when he was still in college to locate Patty Hearst by the Hearst family.
A private investigator. Who becomes a private investigator? A guy who's like I have the morality of a criminal, but
yeah,
I'd like to what? I'd like to
I would like to work outside the restraints of a police department.
I got it. Yeah, like I would love to be a cop, but I can't pass the polygraph test or whatever you got to take.
Yeah. Like when they ask you, like, have you ever killed animals or whatever? You're like, I can't, because they ask all those questions when you take the cop test.
Dude, I remember I wanted to apply to work at the FBI, but when I became aware that you had to take those polygraph tests, I backed out.
Dude, you would get paid so much money speaking Arabic working for the FBI.
Dude, I would be...
Also having no scruples about working for the FBI as an Arab. It's an automatic bonus.
Are you kidding me? I grew up with a guy who wanted to take me to the execution of a collaborator.
Yeah.
Do you understand how far away... I could never in a million years be an FBI interpreter. Even if it's for good, there's just no way I could do it.
Right, but you would make a deep haul of cash.
Well, listen, if I wanted cash, I wouldn't have pursued...
the news show,
the podcasting career.
You wouldn't become a news anchor.
I'm obviously not worried about cash.
Jack Palladino, private eye, Boston guy, moved to San Francisco straight out of college, became a very famous private investigator. But what I like about him is he's a real worst hour character, because whoever paid him, he took their side. I mean, it is all over the spectrum.
Hey, man, there's a lot of responsibilities you have on this earth, but fiduciary, that's your first and foremost.
Number one. Yeah, so like he took one of his big cases was he spent 7 years on the Jim Jones, the Bryan, the Jonestown massacre.
Mm-hmm.
And so he built up he created a lot of favor with the San Francisco locals there by doing a lot of research and getting a lot of information for the family of the deceased from there. But he also he got paid a lot of money to shut up Bill Clinton's accusers when Bill Clinton was running the DNC.
Oh, that's right.
Trying to get the DNC. So there was like 12 women that he was, quote unquote, negotiating with to keep their trap shut.
He was killed? Is that what happened to Jack Palladino?
Yeah. He was killed, but hold on. This is one of the ones where it could be anybody.
Sure.
But
sure.
And it could have been as random as they're reporting it.
It's so funny. As soon as you said the Clinton thing, I went, wait a second, hold on. Didn't this guy die?
He was murdered. He was hired. He was on the Clinton's payroll, and he was murdered.
That Clinton body count thing is so funny because people eventually always die. So at some point, if you've wronged the Clintons, you're gonna die, regardless
100%.
of whether they kill you or not. But when you die, they go Clinton body count hashtag.
And they do tend to die in spectacular ways, which we'll get into how Palladino died in a second. But I do want to say regarding the Clinton body count. During my panic attack, I put on a stupid movie to try to calm down, and I watched Me, Myself, and Irene. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that movie? It's like Jim Carrey has multiple personality disorder.
Yeah, I vaguely remembered. I never watched it.
Well, there's one point where he's got 3 children, 3 fat black children, because his wife was cheating on him with a black dude.
Okay.
Well, it was a black midget. She was cheating on him with a black midget, and then they ended up being like 6'7" and 300 pounds. And one of them was Anthony Anderson, and he's hacking at the computer. He goes, "Oh shit, that motherfucker Vince Foster was murdered," because he was hacking into the FBI.
Oh wow!
And I was just like, who wrote that into the Me, Myself, and Irene script?
That movie's from like 2002.
Yeah, and they're joking about Vince Foster getting murdered.
Yeah, that's
how you know the Zucker brothers or Farley brothers, whoever made it, are probably just fucking Republicans.
Yeah, exactly.
But Jack Palladino was he also helped R. Kelly get off on that pissing on a child
he didn't help
video.
I think R. Kelly helped himself get off on that pissing in a child video.
It's the worst hour of the week with Bryan Vokey and Ramsey Badawi.
I can't stop with that one.
Joni's fucking gushing right now. Man. Joni the Doug.
She's like, "You're so funny." Lays on her back. So he helped R. Kelly, but so this is how he got killed. He was still he was working on a Harvey Weinstein. He was interviewing all of Harvey Weinstein's victims currently. Like he was investigating that. I don't know if anybody's asking him to investigate these things or
if he's just kind of volunteering to do it on his own.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody was hiring him to do that, but he had a big camera on him. He was notorious for having a big camera on him.
How old is he?
76.
Okay. Yeah, he's at that age where he's investigating things no one's asking him to investigate.
Right. Yeah, they're like, he's already in jail, right? There's no reason.
I'm gonna get that Harvey Weinstein kid.
I'll get another 7 years on his sentence when I'm done. But so he's out taking pictures of something. Nobody knows. Well, the police know what because they have the camera. And 2 dudes try to rob him for the camera, and he fights. He tries to fight him off, and he's holding onto his camera, and they push him down. He hits his head, and he dies. But his camera he had snapped pictures of his attackers.
Oh, Jodi Arias style.
So he solved his own crime.
Wow, beautiful. I mean,
unless those guys were hired by the Clintons, then that's completely unsolved.
It's an unsolvable crime. I mean, ultimately, if you ask me, I'd rather still be alive. But
but what a button on his investigative life. Huh?
Yeah, not bad. A pipe over the head is also probably the way a guy like him wants to go.
Right. It's an easy way to go.
It's called. That's how a private investigator actually retires. Ultimately, somebody eventually takes him out back and hits him over the head with a lead pipe.
Yeah, same way. He's hard boiled.
Yeah, so
crack him like an egg.
I'm sure it's written into his life insurance policy. Well, that's good, man. He'll be missed. Let's get into Jeff Bezos over here. He's the man of the hour. Stepped down as Amazon CEO earlier today. Big fucking deal, man.
Did you expect this? Because you're more up to date on this stuff than I am.
No, I actually absolutely look. I can't say that I was ever even thinking about it. I felt like Amazon would always be with Jeff Bezos. Now, as you read this article here, you see a little bit further. Jeff Bezos isn't actually removing himself from.
They never do.
No, he's still the executive chair. You know what this is like? This is a lot like when Putin doesn't want to be president anymore, and he just wants to be the chairman of Russia or whatever.
Yeah, like or
the premier.
It was like before Putin had the balls to abolish term limits.
Exactly.
He was like, I'm something else now.
Yeah, you know what I do?
I'm a czar.
I'm sort of a big picture guy now.
Yeah.
So ultimately, if you're Jeff Bezos, you reach a point where you're just like, who the fuck cares anymore? I'm the second richest guy on the planet. I don't want to.
Depending on what day of the week. The other days of the week, I'm the richest.
Some days, exactly. You know? So it's like, fuck it. I'm going to let some other fucking dude do all the bullshit I don't want to do.
This Huck Finn motherfucker taking over is only worth $333 million.
This is one of the most interesting things about this story is that I would rather become the CEO of Amazon than the president or king of most countries. I mean, this man is
countries.
Every country, really. I mean,
right now they
with
are,
the exception of, America, of course.
They're running into antitrust stuff like soon.
Yeah.
And so it makes sense that Bezos is going to step down to focus. One of the things it says he's going to focus on, it says that is, first of all, his Blue Origin spaceship company, which is Elon Musk is SpaceX and Blue Origin is its rival.
Yeah.
And Elon Musk has been dominating Blue Origin and also shit talking the whole time. So I imagine that's like a personal stick in his craw, or I don't know if that's what you say.
You got to give it to Jeff Bezos. He burns the planet down with Amazon Prime and then is like, I'm rich. I'm going to get out of here and focus on my plan, which is leaving Earth forever.
Right. Well, the other thing he wants to focus on is the Washington Post. So I'm like, oh, very interesting. So you're going to let this other guy get slaughtered by Congress during the antitrust suits while you manipulate the media to, make the left a little more sympathetic to, because the left is fairly sympathetic to big tech already. Mm-hmm. So, and you would think that they would be, historically against monopolies of any sort.
Yeah. I mean, Jeff Bezos is, look, man, let's be real. We all want to make fun of him. We all want to trash him. This dude's an alpha dog.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy is such an alpha, his eyes won't even look the same direction.
No.
He is the billionaire with the biggest dick, without a question.
What
right?
makes you say that?
Well, a couple things. First of all, can you go back to the page that we had? I mean, we can just start what I call Exhibit A. You scroll down a little bit. I put some pictures in this page here. If you keep going, there we go. Take a look at Exhibit A here. This is Jeff Bezos and his current girlfriend, who's a reporter in. Do you remember this chick? This is the chick.
Is this the one where he was sending dick pics to?
Yeah, this busty chick is. Look at this fucking chick, dude. This chick's a fox. Yeah. I think her name is Lauren Sanchez or something like that.
Oh, the richest man in the world's girlfriend is a fox?
Dude. Well, here's the thing. Just because you're rich doesn't mean you have to get a fox of a chick. You know what I mean?
You get at least a fox of a side chick.
For this chick in particular, it's like, listen, whether she's fucking the richest guy in the world, second richest guy in the world, third richest guy in the world, she's got her pick. Whatever the fuck she wants to do. I think that by sheer fact that a dick pic of Jeff Bezos exists, we should assume that it's a pretty good sized dick. He's not taking a picture of a mediocre dick.
No, and he also is God of Earth. So if the Saudis allegedly leaked that dick pic as revenge, but
if it was a bad dick, I promise you I would have seen it already.
That was because of the Washington Post, right? Because Khashoggi worked at the Washington Post.
Yeah, and the Washington Post was covering the story. Can we see it? Can you Google Jeff Bezos' dick?
I've actually done this before. There's a couple dick pics that have been scrubbed off the internet. There was a basketball player named Greg Oden. He was the #1 draft pick. He ended up being a bust because of a knee injury. But he had a dick pic, and it was mind-boggling how big that hog was.
Yeah.
And I saw it once, and I've talked it up to a bunch of people, and they're always like, well, show me. And it is gone. I would never scrub that picture, by the way.
If you had that...
He's soft hitting his knee, dude.
Dude,
and he's already 7 feet tall.
Sure.
It's
so
big on... Yeah.
It's big on big,
yeah.
you're saying. Yeah. I mean, look, I think Jeff Bezos might have a large one because his chick's hot. He's the richest... Like, he's got this, like, this sort of...
He's buff now. He probably got, like, even if he wasn't originally a big dick dude, he probably got a dick that was big.
Check out this picture. If you check out Exhibit B, he just Googled on start page, Jeff Bezos' dick. Is this the picture where he's posed completely naked like the Thinker?
He's posed like the Thinker with his hog out.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, he's got a great bod. If you look at this, he's ripped, dude. He's fucking ripped. Look at these shorts. Look at that hog. You can basically see it right in those dolphin shorts.
Yeah, you can see that. I mean, it might be, he might have huge balls.
That
might be, because that's kind of a smiley face wrinkle in his shorts, which is definitely a crease that balls make.
Look, personally, if he was as ripped as he is right now, but his balls were huge, I think that would be awesome.
I think Jack Palladino would be really excited about this investigation that we're going into right now.
Big balls are only a problem. They're only a problem if you're a fat dude. If you're ripped, you got big
giant balls. Well, the thing is, though, you need your dick to go past your balls.
Of course. I can't be in there like a sleeping bag situation.
Yeah, beanbag chair type deal.
No, that doesn't look good on anybody. No. Your dick looks like a dog wearing a cone. It's can't chew on its asshole or whatever.
Right, like your thumb on a grapefruit.
Look at these guns, dude. This guy's got like Vin Diesel's guns.
Yeah, he looks like he could be like the real Jason Bourne.
He's got to be on like He's got to be on like HGH, right?
Oh, for sure. He's got some shit we don't know about.
If you scroll down, I love this picture of him with his shaved chest and his opened up shirt. And his big-titted girlfriend.
Yeah, he is shaved. He looks like a giant cock.
This dude looks like he's pounding a Telemundo reporter. I mean, really, this guy is an alpha. So I'm going to miss him as the CEO of Amazon. It's going to be a real bummer. But, I look forward to, his involvement in my life in whatever capacity he wants to be involved in my life.
Yeah, we salute the king.
He's Cuban, you know that?
Really?
Bezos, I believe, is a Cuban name or something like that. Or I think maybe his stepdad is Cuban. I'm not sure. We'll look into it.
Are you thinking of pesos?
I think Bezos is a Cuban name. I'm
Bezos.
Nearly positive, but we'll look into it some other time, I guess. Let's jump into this Myanmar coup. Mm-hmm. P is silent, not a coupe.
Not a coupe, but
I would never drive a Myanmar coupe. No car. There's not a menu.
I would hire an assistant to turn the ignition while I was 100 yards away from it, and then I would get it.
I would not want to see whatever car manufacturers.
Real quick question, though.
Yeah.
It's coup, that we can agree on, but is it junta, or junta?
Excuse me? What are you talking about?
The synonym for military junta.
I've never heard of this before.
You'll see it in all of these articles. JUNTA.
Okay, so we're looking right now at some imagery of the coup itself. Myanmar still looks pretty nice, if I can be completely honest with you.
Myanmar is never in the news for something you want to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I'm looking at it right now, and I would have never guessed that they were in, that a military coup just happened. I would have assumed it happened 2-3 decades ago. I mean,
it did. It happened in '88. It happened in 2010. It happened in '93, I believe.
Yeah, I'm just saying, based on this video, it doesn't look like it happened yesterday.
They're jaded.
It looks like they were between coups. Let's see here. The leader of this is one of those stories, by the way, always cracks me up. Myanmar's old president was a woman.
Yeah, but she was never really president.
Nonetheless, I still think it's funny whenever countries that have coups have female presidents before us. It's kind of funny when it works out that way. Their old president, Aung San Suu Kyi.
She's a looker for an old lady.
She's pretty fucking fine, dude. She's got those beautiful big eyes.
She's got those gray Cruella de Vil streaks that are hot.
She's the state counselor of Myanmar. She's referred to as Her Excellency. I love this. Her Wikipedia page was fucking instantly updated. Mm-hmm. This is, when you had earlier Mike Lindell talking about a coup, here's how you know it's not a coup. You're on the air talking about it. If it's a coup, we don't fucking ever hear from you.
Right.
They just quietly end your office term on the Wikipedia page.
This woman has spent like her whole life detained.
Yeah, she's currently detained right now as we speak,
yes.
right?
Yes. And she was detained. She's been detained over and over again. She's been democratically elected, but there's been a military controlling the government since '88, essentially on and off. And so they've always called her like the people's president.
I see.
So she's never had like full presidential power.
Not a bad gig to be a political prisoner.
It's like the people's champ. Like when you call somebody the people's champ, you're always champion,
Absolutely.
even if you don't currently hold a belt.
Yeah, absolutely. She was, I guess she's been in power since 2016. She was succeeded by, here's the new president, Min Aung Hlaing. I got to be honest with you, they really got to change the names up a little bit. That's a pretty similar name.
Yeah, they're very close.
He assumed office on February 2nd, 2021. His Wikipedia page is up to date. Mm-hmm. Military general, looks like not.
I feel like I could beat his ass.
What's his religious honors? I want to see. He's got some. According to, he's on October 7th, 2019, the Young Men's Buddhist Association, YMBA.
YMBA
awarded him the title. I have a feeling they would have a huge problem with the YMCA, with the people who wrote YMCA. Just based on their, propensity to coup. Whatever your propensity to coup is usually there's a direct correlation with your, homophobic.
Not very many times have you heard, hey, there was a military overthrow of a government, and the next day they legalized gay marriage. That's not usually. Maybe Castro.
Yeah, maybe,
but I doubt it.
Let's see. So looks like a pretty a wild situation.
He was awarded the title of Mingala Dama Zawitki Daza.
Well, rolls right off the tongue. You trying to pronounce that sounds like you just got done boxing.
Yeah.
You lost, and they were interviewing you.
They're asking me what year it is.
And you're like,
on 9 December. I hate when a Wikipedia page is clearly made by Europeans.
Oh, yeah.
On 9 December. It's December 9th.
Wait, come on,
2020.
Dude. Yeah.
The YMBA, the Young Men Buddhist Association, awarded him the title of Thaudo Thiri Aga Maha Mingalar Zawitka.
Yeah.
So that's a big honor. Everybody knows.
I was wondering where our nomination was that year.
Yeah, we've been waiting on that one for a long time.
You know what, ladies and gentlemen, this year for 2021, we got a new goal. We need to get the worst hour nominated for Thaudothi Aga Maha Mingala Zawadika over there in Myanmar.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence that you were talking last week on our episode about how you might break into the Myanmar broadcasting market, and then immediately the military overthrows the government.
We have a pretty good listenership over there. Myanmar, Singapore, all the flogging districts. All the countries where flogging is a regular part of the justice system.
All I've heard about in my life about that place is that they make a lot of meth and heroin, that it used to be Burma, and then the military changed it to Myanmar.
Here's my only request is I don't change the name again. I finally stopped calling it Burma. Yeah. If you guys all of a sudden are now something else, go fuck yourself.
But she's a Burmese president.
Okay, so she is part of the Burma movement.
Yeah.
Is this the place where they were killing Rohingya Muslims?
Yes.
Man, rough year for these guys. The military coup. I love that they announced that they're just to help smooth things over. They're entering a state of a military emergency for the next year.
Right.
So they're requesting everybody just sort of kind of chills at home.
But they do say that after a year they will have fair and free elections.
Just for a year, you want to stabilize things.
Yeah. I mean, I believe them.
I mean, show me a time when this went wrong.
So
other than every time it happened. But nonetheless. All right. Let's close the show out. It's getting a little warm in here.
Yeah, I might move the air conditioner into this room. Oh God, this guy.
So let's close the show out on our absolutely favorite segment here. You heard it here last. The segment where Bryan and I go over news stories we just heard about.
Right, and they have like millions of views, so maybe some of you have already heard this.
This is the segment where Bryan and I go over things we didn't know happened. I mean, really, how could I be expected to keep up on all things all the time?
Right. That's like when I found out Frasier was on Cheers.
Yeah, it's like...
I was like, wait, when did that happen?
So... this is a video called, let's see here. It's about, what's his name? Todd Nickerson. Let's hit play and let it set itself up here. This is Todd Nickerson, the life of a virtuous pedophile. And it's a British thing, I think, because pedophile is spelled weird.
Yeah, A-E.
Pedophile looks like it's spelled with that letter Elon Musk uses to spell his daughter's new name.
Yeah. Look, it's like a Tool album.
Yeah.
Pedophilia.
Okay, hit play.
But just a quick warning: this video contains themes that some viewers may find disturbing.
I imagine not our listeners, but some listeners.
I will say though, if you don't find this disturbing, you're a threat.
Let's see.
I am a pedophile.
This video delivers immediately.
If you're not hooked,
immediately.
He's saying that with a smile, by the way. And boy, does he look the part. And we'll get into how much he looks the part later.
Yeah.
I'm not a...
He's got such an unfortunate body.
I mean, he has the body that unfortunately... Not only does he have the body of a pedophile, But you can tell by the way he's dressed, he has the instincts of a pedophile.
Yeah.
You're like, these are the clothing decisions only a pedophile would make. All the colors you're wearing can be associated with Go-Gurt.
Yeah, and he has that shitty fat body where like, because there's good fat bodies where there's like really rounded out, but he's like really lumpy in weird areas. Like he looks like he may have had a gastric bypass and used to weigh 1,000 pounds.
But he's still,
but he's still like 290, 300.
When he takes his shirt off, it looks like a souffle has been deflated.
Yeah, he actually looks probably like what your snowman laser pointer would have looked like.
Flip him sideways.
Yeah.
Monster. I have the traction, but I don't act on it.
Okay, so that's what makes him virtuous, is that he is attracted to kids but doesn't act on it.
Yeah, that's virtue.
Although I would argue that, your role here in this video, you are acting on it by talking about it.
Right.
Imagine you jerk off to it. That's kind of acting on it.
He talks about that.
Does he really?
Yes.
He talks about
I am Todd Nickerson.
He says he has a very active imagination, and that's what...
I'm a non-offending pedophile.
By the way, you don't get to choose whether or not I'm offended. He says he's a non-offending pedophile.
No. He means he
No,
does.
I know.
Fair enough. Okay.
It's a double entendre, but like, listen, I'm offended.
Well, it's complicated because, I guess he's doing the right thing,
I have never, ever sexually abused a child.
I don't believe him.
Never will.
Yeah.
I do not look at child porn.
Notice that he never said he never.
The law.
Notice he never said I've never looked at child porn. Like,
Says, I never.
I'm currently not looking at child porn as we speak. I'm not looking at it.
Still not looking at it.
I won't look at it tomorrow.
I respect the laws. I respect society's position on this. I understand it and agree with it. I am part of one of the most hated groups of society.
This part gets me.
No question about it. We are the scapegoats du jour.
Okay.
Scapegoats.
He's got a cross, by the way, hanging on off the rearview mirror. Really a good bookend for this episode. The cross has really made...
Yeah. This is more of a Christian episode.
The cross has made its appearance in this episode in several places.
So, the word scapegoat really bothers me. You're not a scapegoat as a pedophile.
I like that he's linking himself up to what the Jews were in the Holocaust.
Yeah. You guys use us as if you don't have your own flaws. You deflect onto me.
I love the idea that he's offended about the Pizzagate stuff. He's like, most pedophiles are good, honest people.
We don't eat them.
We don't eat kids. Plenty of us just jerk off to them on our own times.
If you look at history, there's always one minority.
Minority.
Yeah.
It seems to be the one that everybody kind of.
By the way, if
persecutes.
you're a minority, I would love to see this NBC showcase where they start looking for this minority to be on television.
He says he's persecuted.
Yeah.
The children aren't persecuted. He is. Okay.
I think we're it. I'm campaigning for better treatment of people like
you. Shouldn't be the face of anything. Don't.
I gotta be honest with you, man. Maybe you could be a behind-the-scenes kind of guy, not the best-looking guy. It's kind of a bummer.
He actually looks exactly like this dude I used to live near in Athens, Georgia, that we all called Dirty Jesse.
Yeah.
And Dirty Jesse one time was found at 7 a.m. walking through downtown triumphantly, was how it was described to me. Kind of like how George Washington looks on that painting where he's crossing the Delaware.
Yeah.
Like very triumphantly buck naked.
Oh man, this is and does he have the body type of Todd Nickerson over here?
He's got a little bit of I'll give him. He's got a better body than Todd Nickerson.
I'm telling you right now, man. If I was gonna come on the air and do my piece about how I'm a pedophile and like we're not all that bad,
would you work out?
I would have done a few push-ups. I would have gotten a lip ring. I'd have gotten a cool haircut. I would have at least been like, dude, you wouldn't even guess, man. I would have gotten braids, dreads.
Yeah, I mean, if he had a six-pack, how different would this look?
Bought in a Tesla. I wouldn't be like fucking coming out of a PT Cruiser or whatever he's coming out of right here.
He's basically coming out of a sewer cap.
He has that hairline that looks like it's being censored. It's blurry. You don't know where it is, where it starts.
Yeah, like he's like got his own little cloud.
We're non-offending pedophiles. Not all pedophiles are child molesters, and not all child molesters are pedophiles.
Does he have a minivan,
pedophile
dude?
Is, strictly speaking, is just somebody who has
He's
the
going
sexual
to a park
attraction to
to
children.
sketch.
They may act on it, they may not. Pedophiles come from all
big
walks
reveal.
of life.
Turns out he has
we come
a
from
robotic
all
arm.
sorts-
He's got a wrench for an arm that looks like like I used to teach kids, and it looks like the toy wrenches that they have. It's
really like if you want to attract a little kid. Dude,
yeah. Wow, neat wrench, mister.
I mean, that's like having a fucking puppy glued to your cock, dude.
Comic backgrounds, different occupations, and
He's got
we
a
look like
cherry
everybody
picker.
else. Like, there are a lot of teachers and people that who do
He's
work
just
with kids.
staring
But
at a
I think
pond
most
with
of
an
us
easel.
just hold regular jobs.
How would you say you managed to control your sexual urges?
A lot of people think that if you're attracted to kids, that you have some kind of like unusual degree of urge to go out and attack kids, and it's not like that.
Okay.
Most people, when they see somebody they're attracted to, do they automatically think, oh, I want to jump on them and have sex with them? So it's the same.
He buries himself just in how he describes things.
If I was his attorney right now, my head would be in my hands. I'd be like, this is...
I would also be like, dude, you can't have greasy hair. Like, have you heard of dry shampoo? If you don't want to shower, that's fine. Just throw some dry shampoo in there.
I gotta... Is Todd Nickerson on Twitter? Can we see? Is he out there right now, or was this the last time he tried? Because I feel like...
Yeah.
His name is Todd, T-O-D-D. Todd is strike one, man. If you name your kid Todd, it's over. Let's see. A pedophile opens up about being targeted by vigilantes. Oh, no.
It all kind of ends around 2018.
Yeah, it seems like
17.
It seems like in 2017, media did a push to try to normalize pedophilia.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on.
Dude, Todd Nickerson. He's a 43-year-old virgin. Oh, does he talk about that in the video?
Yes.
Please tell me he does.
Yes,
All right.
he does.
Let's see here.
I lost where we
got
that
a
one
lot.
says boobs.
Yeah, we got.
That's not that one.
We got a lot of tabs. Maybe it's in a different window. Oh, there it is.
With us, it's just, we just happen to be attracted to kids.
Oh, he even has like a little bit of
What
mesh
age group
going
are you
on.
attracted to?
He's drawing a.
I would say probably
lake?
starts about 4.
Is that what he's doing right now?
4 years old. And then
That
goes up
wrench
into
hand is
early
horrific.
20s, late teens, early 20s.
I want to see what he was drawing
it kind
right
of peaks
there.
at about 9, 10 years old.
Oh God, it makes me want to throw up. Like I sweat when I hear this.
Todd admits belonging to internet forums in the past where a majority were in favor of legalizing sexual contact with minors. Boy, that's a tough bumper sticker. That's a tough bumper sticker to put on your car, dude.
This is talking about, they're writing on the screen about how he started the virtuous pedophile movement, which he calls
I'm a
VERPED.
political activist for
You're
virtuous
not a
pedophiles,
political
which is a
activist. What are you?
What is it about being a pedophile that attracts you to this sort of color scheme that he has for his living room?
Everything about him is so dead on. It's like, is this like a Mr. Show sketch? Like, why is this so perfect?
Yeah.
In how wretched it is, and everything you're picturing in your head. I will include the video link, but you don't even need it. Just picture in your head what a pedophile wears. Put a little wrench on his hand because he's missing an arm, and put him in schlubby furniture.
I'm not kidding. If this guy tried to get me into his van with his wrench arm, it would work.
Also, if he's a real virtuous pedophile, he shouldn't even have a computer.
I would like to take a look at it.
Talking to the media and things, and basically making the case for VERPED.
Just because you want something to catch on, it's not going to catch on.
VERPED.
The forum is devoted to helping pedophiles who do not want to offend. There are approximately a few thousand members. We have people who do feel guilty.
I'm glad he said after feel guilty.
Yeah.
I didn't know what he was
Deal
going to
with
say.
shame, and we try to help them get past that because, they didn't choose their sexuality. As long as they're not acting on it and they're devoted to doing the right thing.
Dude, the dustiest keyboard.
Yeah,
just shot at him while he's on the
By the
computer.
way, his computer looks horrifically like my laptop.
You do have the laptop of a pedophile. I like when somebody look at his laptop screen. The number pad has never been touched. It's so dusty.
The K is completely worn off because he's written kids so many times.
He's in Kids
Our
Bop so
philosophy
many
is
times.
There's no reason to feel guilty for that.
Yes, there is. Sorry.
We can talk about books or movies or music or whatever, you know. Just basically, it's just a hangout spot, kind of an all-purpose forum for non-offending pedophiles.
Well, if you want to,
hey, where do you guys get your sandals and your fucking cargo shorts?
You know, if you really want to kind of stick to the non-offending thing, I don't know. Maybe don't hang out with other people where this is the one thing you have in common.
Exactly. They're like diet tips on how to get that spare tire.
We all come together and, you know, we're from different places and different economic situations. But the one thing we all do have in common, we both want to fuck 7-year-old boys. Like, why
My goals are to educate the public and also to bring people who are struggling with this attraction to our forum so that we can help them.
Wow, there are 3 pages in the FAQ. We got to go to this website, verpet.org. We'll check it out after this video.
What I do, there's just a handful of us doing it.
You want to see if he wants to do Worst Hour?
No, I don't, actually.
In 2016, he appeared online video.
What was your reaction when you first decided
where he first showed his face on the internet?
Face on the internet, so to speak.
What was the reaction from the public, or?
Yeah.
Well, I got a pretty public backlash, but by the same token, I actually got a lot of support privately.
Why is he sweating so much?
And hundreds of emails.
I mean, in
from
his
people
defense,
who
I
were very
suppose.
supportive. A lot of them.
Let me tell you, if I was
survivors
saying this
of
stuff
abuse.
to a news channel, I'd probably be sweating too.
Yeah, it's not necessarily.
I'm sweating just listening to it.
Does he have like a wife or kids, or does he live alone?
Oh, he gets into it.
Are you worried about your own personal safety in putting yourself in the public eye?
You know, I used to be worried about my safety, and I do take some precautions. I carry this pocket knife with me.
Oh, no.
Just in case I ever get attacked. It's never happened, but
God,
you know, I've got it if I need it. It's a spring blade.
Dude, you gotta have an arm attachment.
Yeah, I know. He's got a wrench for a hand.
The best part about having no hand is you could put whatever the fuck you want there.
Exactly, like an action figure.
I would put a gun. Just
Yeah, and then I would immediately put it to my head and blow my fucking head off.
Yeah, it's a rough go at
Plus,
things.
I have this, so you know that tends to deter most people.
He's talking about his wrench hand.
Yeah, he's pointing at his cock.
I was born without my right hand. It just didn't grow properly.
Ah, whoa, crazy.
Wear this. Slips right back on.
I'm not saying that I don't want to throw this guy in a ravine, but boy, what a bad hand he was dealt, huh?
I mean, it's a tough one.
I mean singular hand.
It's a tough one, man.
There was one event that basically hammered it home for me. I call it my eureka moment.
That's not what you call that. You got to understand what people, when they find gold, they yell eureka. That's when you yell eureka. Somebody needs to tell him about the words aha. I had an aha moment.
Somebody just needs to explain to this guy what an idea is. I had an idea. I thought of something.
Yeah. Or maybe a devastating revelation. Okay.
When I realized I'm interested in these younger girls, I was 13, and a neighbor
By the way,
had come
there's a
over
picture
to
of
visit.
him at 13 years old that he already looks like,
Looks like a fucking
pedophile.
He has the same haircut, the same greasy head.
Do they the pedophiles produce a lot of grease in there?
Brought his little daughter with him.
This would be slimy dudes.
It must
I
be
was sitting
just
in the
all
living
the
room drawing,
unreleased cum.
And I just remember looking up and just being blown away by how beautiful I thought she was. Initially, I repressed the feelings, especially
he
in my
repressed
teen-
them the only time in his life where it was age
appropriate.
appropriate.
I was 13, she was 12.
Yeah. But don't worry, I didn't act on it.
I don't think, I feel like this guy maybe isn't a
because
pedophile.
I was a regular at a church. I had asked God to take it away. And
By the way, also another thing
I
a
kinda felt
pedophile should
like
never do is keep a sleeve of Polaroids. He's opening up Polaroids. No matter what, you could have like really cute family pictures under a Christmas tree, but when they're taken on Polaroids, you immediately assume somebody in that is murdered.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Polaroids are the most horrific way to capture an image.
They're all in that like vintage lighting.
That
too.
sepia.
Yeah.
You just feel like you're watching like Dateline or something.
The age of the girls I was attracted to were staying the same. That's kind of when I realized, this was going to be a problem. I went out with a girl when I was 20 years old, so she was 26.
Wow.
She was very petite.
He went the other
so she
direction.
was my type, physically.
Did you hear that line?
Oh, she was petite? Yeah, okay.
So she was my type, physically.
I thought, at the time, at this time, I still wasn't really that attracted to adults.
Well, hey, we've all been in this situation. Maybe not exactly, but you go, hey, I think I like this chick.
Yeah.
It seems like I should like her.
Yeah, she seems like me.
She checks all the boxes. Now, not exactly this thought process, but
right. There's another side of that coin that's very different.
Well, maybe I can make this work. We dated for about 3 weeks. I kept putting sex off. Finally, I gave in. We tried it. It just didn't work. I went on a couple of dates after that with a couple of girls, but it never really got past that first date stage. And
so he's
my
straight?
heart wasn't in it.
He's not okay.
The worst kind.
For all intents and purposes, I am a virgin. I've never had.
That's a great line. I love how somebody has to add a qualifier. For all intents and purposes, I'm a virgin.
I mean, I'm not a virgin, like for not what you would say is a virgin.
No, but purposefully and intentfully.
When it comes to the intent of the purpose that I'd like to talk to you about today, we'll say I'm a virgin. Are we on the record or off the record? I mean, if you nailed me down and I had to give you an answer today, and I had to get
gun to my head, yes or no, I would say yes.
I have to commit right
I
now.
came over to visit my grandmother. There was a guy that they didn't really know him that well. He was an acquaintance. And she asked me if I would take him out
Big shocker.
to show my grandpa's garden. And he went out to the side of the garden and sat down on the ground and patted the ground.
Yeah, we don't. I mean, it just gets darker and darker.
So, okay, well, how does this thing end, though?
I don't know, because this is where I tapped out each time. So I skipped over his. Okay, he's rocking.
I have
oh, here I did get to this part.
Okay, so now he's talking about basically how he gets off.
Yeah, so he says, I have a pretty healthy imagination. If there's one thing I would say about his imagination, I would say it is not healthy. Okay. It's probably one of the most unhealthy imaginations you could ever have. This guy, again, Eureka, healthy, there's a lot of
healthy imagination. I think it helps me to process my sexuality in healthy ways that don't involve any real children.
Yeah.
I mean, they're always real children. No one's imagination is that good.
Yeah.
That you're completely picturing a kid that doesn't exist.
Get ready for the creepiest part of the whole...
Okay.
A lot of my fantasies actually revolve around kids who are more powerful than I am. Is this idea of
and he's showing us a comic strip.
Super powered kids, who are able to consent, because they're just super smarter.
This is me as his attorney, thrilled. Like, thank God he nailed it. I told him at the very end, stick the landing. Everybody,
in my fantasies, they can consent because they're super smart.
Because they're smart enough to understand.
And they could crush me if I hurt them. Dude, yeah. Also, it's like, there's your Eureka moment where you realize, oh, you were traumatized as a kid and you wish that you were strong enough to smash the person who hurt you.
As opposed to what he thinks is his Eureka moment, which is when he just decided to never come again.
Oh my God!
If I hurt them,
God,
my family recognizes that I'm doing something important.
Yeah, that is
that
pedophile
I'm kind
medium.
of a pioneer. That I'm out here doing something that really needs to be done, and raising awareness and letting people know what people like me.
He looks like a Chris Elliott character, doesn't he?
There's this shot of him of people looking at him, and they really, boy, do they not know.
Every day.
They know, though. And without knowing, they know.
Actually, I feel like I have a purpose now.
Nice tight shot on his bald spot with his greasy Hulk Hogan ringlet.
Dude, this is brutal, man.
Yeah.
How bad of a
I
hand can
am
you
neither
be dealt?
proud or nor ashamed of being a pedophile.
Okay.
At this point, I
That's
just
the worst hours I've ever heard one.
This is this guy is word for word taking my legal advice on how to.
I'm neither proud nor ashamed.
Of being a pedophile at this point. I just accept it. Yeah. Okay.
accept it. It's who I am.
By the way, comments are turned off on this video, and the
82,000 dislikes.
the ratio is pretty brutal. 58 up. Who are the 58,000 going thumbs up?
I mean, probably all pedophiles in their own right.
Yeah, and then 82,000 down votes.
This is a rough one. We'll definitely include.
This is one of the few videos that's actually doing worse than Worst Hour is doing on the.
This video is so good. We'll put it up in the show notes. Be sure to check those out, and really all relevant links will always be there. Let's wrap this guy up. Be sure to follow the show across all social media platforms at Worst Hour Pod. You can follow Bryan, of course, across all social media platforms at Bryan J. Vokey on Twitter, at Mr. Bryan Vokey on Instagram. Follow me at Ramsbad, Twitter and Instagram, Big Ass Ram Dog on TikTok. Check out the show on YouTube. You can see the link in our show notes here. Subscribe to our Patreon, $5 a month. You get a bonus episode every single month. What else we got here? Bryan, you got anything to plug here?
No, not at all.
All right, man. Well, if you got nothing else to plug, I got nothing else to plug. Please be on to the prophet.
Yeah. I'll say not long live that last dude.
The virtuous pedophile.
Coming in hard with the depravity you see. This is the worst hour of the week. Reaching new lows with Bryan and Ramsey. This is the worst hour of the week. The worst hour of the week.
Thank you for listening to the Worst Hour of the Week with Bryan Vokey and Ramsey Badawi. Peace be unto the prophet.